Hey, third graders, happy Wednesday. Today is week 5, day 3 of our distance learning. So we are going to get to that now. Go ahead and grab your packet or grab a piece of paper if you can't find your packet, and we're going to get to work. Week 5, day 3. Let's take a look at our fluency because it is a little tricky today. So we're going to read the directions and break that down, and then we will figure out what they want us to do. So it says using digits 1 to 4. That means they want us to think about the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are only thinking about these numbers right now. Using the digits 1 to 4 at most one time each. So we're going to use these numbers, and each number only gets used one time. Some numbers won't get used at all. Fill in the boxes to make the largest possible product. Now, product, I remember that word. We used to have a poster in all of our classrooms that said this word. What kind of math are we doing if we're looking for the product? Yep, I know somebody said it. We are doing multiplication. We've got a clue right here. We've got our multiplication sign down here. So what they want us to do is make a multiplication sentence that can make us the biggest number possible using just these 4 numbers. So we're going to start by making our 2-digit number. We're going to do a 2-digit number multiplied by a 1-digit number. So for our 2-digit number, we need to think this is our tens place and this is our ones place. I might think I want the biggest number here in the tens place. So I'm going to put my 4 in my tens place. And we're just testing this out. Now I don't know what number to put for my ones place, but again, maybe I want the biggest number. So I'll put a 3. So I just made the number 43. Okay. So I have the number 43, and I know I don't want to do times 1 because any number times 1 is itself. So I can only use 2. That's the only number left. So let's try 43 times 2. Now you might be thinking, Miss Fisher, I don't know how to do this. Yes, you do. We can use the distributive property. So I'm just going to write it up here because I'm out of room. 43 times 2 is the same as saying 40 times 2 plus 3 times 2. So let's see. I know that 2 times 4 is 8. So I know that 4 times 2 is 80 plus 3 times 2, and that's 6. That gets me 86. So 2 groups of 43 got me 86. I wonder if we can make a bigger number. Let's see. So we're just kind of guessing and testing. I wonder if we made a number with less tens but more groups. What I mean by that is, let's use our 3 in the tens place this time. So 3, use my space pen, times 3 tens, and let's do 2 ones. So my number is 32. But let's say we have 4 groups of 32. So 32 times 4. I'm going to use my black pen to write out my distributive property here. So actually I'll use red. Sorry. So 32 times 4 is the same as saying 3 tens, 30, times 4 plus 2 ones, 2 times 4. We know that 4 times 3 is what? Yep, 12. So 4 times 3 is 12, but 4 times 3 tens is 120, plus 2 times 4 is 8. Whoa, we made a way bigger number here. 32 times 4 is 128, because even though we had a little bit of a smaller number here, we had more groups of that number, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that this is the biggest number you can make. So we're going to move on to the next one, but go ahead and try that out a few times and see how many different numbers you can make. All right, let's take a look at our new learning. It says each shape represents one whole. So I'm going to use my highlighter tool again. And let's see. This shape is one whole. This shape is one whole. So in this box, somebody drew 2 holes. One hole and one hole. This is one. This is one hole. Every time you see that diamond, it's one hole. They split it into 2 even pieces. We call those halves, remember? If we look at our holes, I'm going to count. I see 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves shaded in, and that's what they did here. So our fraction is 3 halves. We have 1 whole plus another half. We have 3 halves. It says that right here. We write it like 3 halves. Now we're also going to draw that. So we're going to fill in a chart. We're also going to draw some improper fractions, these are called. They're called improper fractions because the number on top is bigger than the number on the bottom. This tells a mathematician that we are talking about more than one whole. So we're going to practice drawing improper fractions, and we're going to practice counting improper fractions. For this one, they drew 7/4. So we have 1 whole, 4/4, and 3 more fourths. This is written in unit form and as a fraction. So let's take a look at what we're doing today. Let's try it. It says each figure represents one whole. Fill in the chart. Some has been completed for you. So as we can see, here's my 1 whole. I have 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves. They went ahead and told me the unit fraction is 1 half. That means when I'm looking at one piece, we call that fraction 1 half. The total number of halves shaded was 5 halves, so the fraction is 5 halves. Let's take a look at this. First, I'm going to count the number of pieces they've chopped it into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see right here they already filled in my unit fraction, and I counted the right number. It matches, so we're good to go. My unit fraction is 1/8. One piece is called 1/8. The total number of units shaded. So let's count all the gray pieces. We know there's 8 here. I'm going to count on 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 units shaded. So my fraction is 15/8. Make sure you have this written in your chart. All right, let's look at letter C, the next one. I need to count all the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each whole is cut into 6 equal pieces. And I actually see that on the denominator they already filled in here. So that tells me I counted right. I didn't make a mistake. My unit fraction, one piece, would be called 1 sixth. And now let's count the number of gray pieces. I know I have 6 here, so I'm going to count on 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 pieces shaded, and my fraction is 14/6. Great job. All right, last one. We have to count our equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so my unit fraction is 1/5. One piece would be called 1/5. They counted the number of pieces shaded for me, the number of units, 8. So my fraction is 8/5. If you need to fill in some more answers, pause the video here and fill in the chart, but we are going to keep moving. Okay, now we are going to estimate, to draw, and shade units on the fraction strips ourselves. So I want you to really pay attention to that word estimate. We're going to do our best to draw equal pieces, but we're not robots, so we're just going to do the best we can. We're going to draw some sixths. This says 8/6. Step 1, I need to cut my fraction bars into 6 equal pieces. I'm actually going to use the thirds above to help me out, but I know my lines probably aren't going to be perfect, and that's okay. We're all just going to do our best. So I cut it into thirds using the lines above to help me. If you're using your paper, I would use a ruler or another piece of paper to help line you up. Then I cut my thirds into 2 equal pieces each, into half, and now I have 6. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me cut up my other hole, again using my 1/3 pieces to help me out. Okay, so I have my sixths, and they want 8/6. They want this. So I know I need to color in 8 pieces. I'm going to use my space pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I colored in 8/6. All right, let's look at my next one. I'm doing 7/4. That means 4 equal pieces. My denominator is going to be 4. My numerator is going to be 7. I'm going to go ahead and chop it up. To do fourths, it's really easy to cut your piece about in half and then cut that half, each of those halves in half. You should have 4 pretty equal pieces. Again, doing this at home on paper, you can use a ruler or a straight edge of another piece of paper to help make your lines a little straighter than mine. I'll use my highlighter this time. I want 7 pieces, so I know that I'm going to color one whole strip. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7. There we go. All right, great job, guys. Here is our problem set. This looks a lot like our last page, so let's take a look. Our first chart, so it says each shape represents one hole. Fill in the chart. So this is one hole. I'm going to investigate and see how many pieces it's cut into. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 even pieces. So I know my unit fraction when I'm looking at one piece is going to be 1/3. Total units shaded. I'm going to do something to count a little faster. I see that there's more than one hole fully shaded, and I'm really great at counting by 3s. Will you count by 3s with me? 3, 6, 9. Great. This last one isn't fully shaded, so I'll count each individual piece. 10, 11. There are 11 pieces shaded. So my fraction shaded is 11/3. thirds. Great work. Okay, we're going to do some more estimating and drawing fraction strips. Here we go. 4 thirds. First, I'm going to write the fraction. My numerator is 4. My denominator is 3. Cutting into thirds is always hard for me. I'm going to do my best to make 3 even pieces for both fraction strips. Grab my highlighter. I noticed that yellow was hard to see last time. I need to color 4 thirds. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. I hope you're counting with me. 4 thirds. I did it. Great. All right. Now they want me to write this in unit form. We're going to make 10 fourths. So I'm going to write the number 10. And this is how we spell fourths. I think we've seen it a couple of times on these pages. Oops. There we go, 10 fourths. So I need to cut these into equal pieces so that they are fourths. So here we go. Again, I always do in half, and then half again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1 hole cut up. There's 2 holes. And 3 holes all chopped up, and I need to make 10 fourths. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I know I could color this whole next thing, right? Because 4, 8. Okay. 9, 10. There we go. Awesome, awesome work, third graders. We are all done for today. You worked really hard. Don't forget to get on Zern and ST Math, and we will post another video tomorrow with day 4. But great job, guys.